you enable in order to filter logs in the out panel to check theta level logs. Sorry, I want to bring everything to the same page. Okay, can you see my screen? Oh, what's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can.
You can't, sir.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought the silence we had for minutes was driven by lack of screen, and so I was thinking we can still see it. I think Mr. Julius mentioned he talked this while he had session with us.
I think it's one, sir.
Okay,
Fatal, the second one.
Fatal category in the output panel that you would enable in order to filter logs in the output panel to check fatal level logs. And more views, more, yeah. Oh, it's like today is the day of keeping quiet.
I think it's the code, sir.
Is the code? Did you say code?
Yes, sir.
Really? Wow. Well, I cannot deny that actually. Well, you cannot transfer what you are going through. It's not everything you are going through as a person you transfer to your class or to a larger audience. You have to manage yourself. Okay, but what do we do? We still have to do this. Let's put our strength together and shake off the code. All right, so Joe has talked about, he's saying it's fatal. Theophilus, Matthew, Amarachi. Sylvester, you say what?
I'll go for the same thing.
Okay, for the same thing.
Same option. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Okay, is it because you are saying fatal level logs? Yeah, Joe and Sylvester.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. So, well, the category in the output panel you would enable in order to filter logs in the output panel to check fatal level logs. Okay, so everybody is going cold. Oh, we have Emmanuel here, but Wauche, Show is here. Theophilus. We don't need to harass Vivian now. She's just joining us in a way. John, where to? Okay, so we are saying that we should enable trace fatal at the output panel to check to filter logs that are actually meant for fatal level logs. Well, I'm thinking, no, I have a reason to doubt this option. Why? As in naturally, without any maybe any bias or so. Reason is I would not expect that they will also include fatal or fatal level logs as what should be enabled. That looks too cheap. What do you think about that?
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, have you picked the answer, sir?
No, we have not.
Okay,
You
I
have
was.
you have, but we have not.
Okay. I was thinking trace should be for like the highest or something. I think he said something like that. I think that trace brings like all the logs, like all the data, like
Okay.
at the top
Release-
of the hierarchy. So I think we should cancel out trace.
no, that will cancel out fatal.
No, trace.
No, I
Fatal
thought
is,
yeah, you said that will cancel.
yes, cancel out trace. Like that can be
So,
the answer.
hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, to buttress what he's saying, according to what we're told that from what he said right now, trace is higher than fatal, then likewise higher than all other options here. So, and what they are telling us is a fatal level log, and if it is that particular logs that we are searching for, and we can only find it in theta. That is my base. But if we are looking for, maybe we are looking for logs that has one, that has info, theta, we can find all those ones in trace. So that is my submission.
Okay, so so everything comes to trace now.
No, no. To as in, if it is, if they are, if they are saying that maybe the logs should contain, as in the logs should contain maybe one info data, then we say that that log trace will contain all those things combined, because it's one is the highest among the logs that we have here. But the logs is referring in particular
To
to
theta.
theta. So we can only find that in theta logs. Yes,
Yeah, I think while I get your submission. Okay, yeah, well, I have not got from others, but then yes, I would want to go for trace. Like like you said, because it is the highest, so it's like it's all encompassing in that hierarchy, and so it should it should fit in, and more so going by how I started when I said I would not want to go for theta because naturally they have already. I would want to suspect that there is a game here, like to just to sweep one off his feet, kind of. And so combining the two together, I would want to go for trace. Going by that, I don't know if you get my logic.
Yes, sir. Well, sir,
And that's the
they
reason.
specified level logs. So I think this one is exclusive to fatal level logs. But for trace now, every form of log will come in.
Comes in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, so that's how I would approach it if I am to. Yeah, if I come across this, I'll go for trace. One is saying, what keyboard shortcut do you use to access log folder? The log folder. I'm not sure there is any. Okay, this is. Yeah, yeah. I know. Even if you are not conversant. Yeah, go ahead.
Control.
Control L, Control plus L. I didn't hear that person.
Yes, sir. That's what I said.
Okay, okay. All right. That's it. Control plus L. 36. Which of the following is not one of the default log fields present in all logs? Sorry. Which of the following is
Hello?
not one? Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was disconnected. The feta stuff. What is the answer?
Okay. We went for trace.
Okay, sir, thank you.
I was calling you. I never knew you were disconnected. All right. Which of the following is not one of the default log fields present in all logs? Message, timestamp, name, job ID. Would we see message? Would we see timestamps? Would we see name? Would we see job ID?
I think timestamp, sir.
Okay, so Joe has opened up discussion for us, something we can debate on. Okay, he said timestamp.
The same, yes, sir.
Okay, the same with you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you guys, I think you belong to the same party. Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, only 3 persons have so far been talking.
I'll say I will choose job ID.
Okay, job ID. All right, Matthew. Theophilus. I have to call names.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think I understand. Sorry, I understand. Sorry, don't worry. I'm not calling your name again. All right, I get that. Thank you for that response. But are we sure we will not see timestamp?
Okay, it's not. I think timestamp should be there. Okay, it will be job ID, sir. Maybe message.
Wait.
Message, sir.
It's not one of the defaults.
It's not one of the default
I'll choose
fields.
message, sir.
Hello, sir.
I think it's.
That sounds like dummy.
Because usually without the message box or not log message, I don't think the message will have the message. I don't think it will have. I'll go with A, sir.
Okay, is message not the is not part? Is it not part of the output, like part of the results to be written?
Not always, sir.
So I think the message should be what is going to display.
Yes.
So I think it should be there.
No, it should be the message. You mean the message should be the
It should be among the default log.
The default.
The logs,
Okay.
the
So that negates what Joe said. All right, I wanted to. So the message is there. Timestamp is there. Now, so we have visuals. Nobody is talking about name. So would name be there?
Well, sir,
name.
I don't know from my own perspective. If we are talking about the log tools here, definitely we should have a kind of ID that is going to differentiate. There's like a unique ID in which I don't know whether it's job ID that will do the job. Then likewise from perspective now, we should have message then, we should have prime star. So, but I don't know whether the name of the error will be there, because the message also, once it will be displayed on the if we are choosing message, meaning they are talking everything about the logs will be in form of message, in which we can see then everything about the log there. So I will go for from the analysis, maybe name.
Okay, all right. So do we agree that job ID will be involved? Will be included, I mean, sorry.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I think I also support. Okay, someone support. Okay, so all right, thank you. Yeah, by that by that analysis, job ID should be included, timestamp message, and so name will be so we have name as the one that will not. Name. Yes, I heard you. I heard you. Maybe I should have used the phone. I heard you. Sorry. All right. So that is the one. I mean, name is the one that not is not going to be part of default log fields in our logs. Uh, 37. Yeah. What is an accurate what's an accurate description of what a log is made up of as it relates to data type? Oh, someone is your network is breaking you. Wow. Wow. Sorry, you have to, sorry. Someone wanted to talk, but it's like his internet is not cooperating. Okay, so what's an accurate description of what a log is made up of as it relates to data type? So what do you say?
Screen.
Okay, I heard you. It says string. Okay, what's an accurate description of what a log is made up of as it relates to data type?
Just key value here.
Okay, I heard you. All right, other input, we have two now, string and JSON keep value pairs. I suppose reference is being made to something like this. Can check it together. Let's see. I just want to open this. Not. Let's just use this. Okay, so all right. So would we say we have two options? Would we say would we categorize this into a string or as just as key value pairs?
String, sir.
Okay. All right, more views. Okay, you said string. Okay. And you said that looks like string. Except that Theophilus is not in a good environment, friendly environment, I mean, with respect to noise control. All right. Perhaps we would have maybe lend out its voice to corroborate
Sir,
okay.
sir, please, well, the question, I don't think maybe the question is talking about that, the Jackson,
The project
and I don't
Jason.
think, because what is talking about is that the data type of the log, the log is like maybe a kind of uh,
Value.
processes that
Okay.
that takes place when during the execution. So, and that particular thing that takes place whenever you see, when if you view the log, is in form of text. It's something that you can read. Because if it is key value, meaning it will be in form of dictionary, that something will be uh, attached to a key. A pair will be attached to a key. A pair will be attached to a key. So that is my perspective.
And the choice of string and why you are going to go for string.
Because we can, in that we can read it, and it's in form of text.
Okay.
The notepad.
No, I'm not. I want to.
I'm getting just now. The data
We are not enjoying you yet. Sorry. So is this what I'm supposed to?
So these are the logs.
So if you understand what it is like that,
I'm trying to locate what looks like key value pairs and what looks like okay. So we have not concluded on this. If I'm going to give you an answer, I will be biased. I will have a biased a biased answer, biased view, an accurate description of what a log is made up of as it relates to data type. And from the small ones, the one I opened, I think last, okay, I think, though I could not really see things being put in quotes. I don't know if you noticed it, though everything was in text, was in string format, except that it was not in quotes. Yeah, I don't know if I should because of that, still say that, okay, string will be the best description, the best way to describe the data type that dogs, in the way the logs are being expressed. I don't know if I should say JSON key PS value, key value PS. Okay, so what Udemy is presenting is actually JSON key value PS. But if I want to go for, if I actually want to go for an answer, I want to go for string. Yeah, based on what I see. Yeah, explanation on how JSON key value PS was, how it was arrived at. I wouldn't know. All right, so
Sir,
yeah.
sir, please, the question I want to ask that JSON key value PS is a data type. No,
No,
we know. I know
the
dictionary is attach key and value. Is JSON key is it a data type?
I think the emphasis is on this key value PS. A way
Not
of,
on
you say?
Okay, okay. No, I know. I got okay. Meaning JSON is just a okay.
Yeah, and okay, let me also explore this. Check. You want to confirm something. Let me see if it's this. The framework has this. I saw JSON somewhere in the dictionary attributes. Go for that. JSON dictionary contracts. I thought I saw something now. Okay, this. Nothing soft, JSON dictionary attribute. This is not. I'm not familiar with that one. Do you have any under Microsoft library? So, all right. So this is where is it now? So now it looks like this is a data type. Did you see that, Sylvester?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So, but you can just you can note this and explore it. Check. You can check out individually. You can check this out. Yeah. So it's hanging at the moment. There's still another one. In Studio, how would one get to the robot execution logs? In Studio, how would one get to the robot execution logs? Any inputs?
I think it's B or C. I'll go for B.
B or C? C. B or C. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll go for B, sir.
B. Okay. Final answer. All right. Any just one more input. Let me just hear. Just one more. None. Okay. So we can go for B then. I think I did that just some minutes ago. Yeah, if you go to debug tab, open logs, and then you see the execution log file. This is robot execution logs. Okay, let me see. Come to this. Come to debug tab, the ribbon, open logs. So then all right, so we can. That's how to access the robot execution logs. All right, so and that is in B. Joe, correct. We have which of the following is not a common reason why we should use the invoke code activity? I think it's is it not like the one we had yesterday or a reverse of it? Which of the following is not a common reason why we should use the invoke code activity?
think it's Caesar.
C is when we need to write custom code for some steps in the process.
That can be true.
Is it John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's also your take.
No,
Is that also your take?
if the question said it's not,
Yeah, it's not. Yes.
I thought C is even the main reason why we use invoke code.
What about D?
I don't think it is used to write the code. I think you
No.
have to have written the code before.
D. So what about D?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it looks like it.
It's saying when we want to use a method which does not generate an output, but invoke code, we can use it to generate an output.
Yes, you are. Sylvester, yes, you are. All right, so you should take note of this. One can easily and sometimes again when you are composing text to someone, not can cause a lot of damage when it is present or not present. It's a very, very powerful word. It can change the whole thing. I remember sending text to someone. I intended to pray for that person. I ended up cursing the person just because I didn't put. Just because I did not include not. And I just a way of sounding complex. And I remember that my supervisor, she always warned us against making our sentences complex. Sometimes when you use two negatives, you just say, why instead of two negative, in your same sentence, why not just go straight and use just one positive, because it's the same thing. All right, so the option here we could go for D when we want to use a method which does not generate an output. We have 40 or something similar. Okay, we also have 41 here. When using VB.NET code in invoke code activity, the assemblies can be instantiated within the code itself. Okay, it's already. It's not need to debate that. All right, so that is false, and 41. Here in the Harry framework is the new transaction status set for transaction items. So we have all this. Where in the Harry framework is the new transaction status set for transaction items. I didn't get that.
B.
Okay, you said D.
B.
Okay, B for bio.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, all right. That's John away. I'm thinking there will be something to object that. Since transaction
Is
actually.
either B or C, sir?
Okay, when you say C, in yes, in the process transaction states, we have some possibility, success. We have when it failed to. So now you by C in the success section of the process transaction state. That's most you are delimiting it to the success section of the process transaction state. That's the implication of C. B is a common file to all the different possible paths or result that we can have in the process.
I will go for B.
All right. Yes, it's B. It's B. This one says, how would a developer pull information from the third row, second column of a data table named DT1? Okay, that's this. Do we have anything here?
So that is A.
A. And let's look at it. Other views. Third row, second column. It's all right. So one more view.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody's speaking.
It should be here.
Okay, everybody has gone for here then. Okay. There. Let's the third row. Is it going to come to? Is the index going to fall into 3? Will the index number be 3?
No.
Yeah.
No, sir. That
Okay.
will be C.
So C is this. What's it called?
Is there a missing option?
Okay, that is the issue. There must be a missing option.
And it's going to be.
It's meant to be
row 2.
Row 2.
Row 2 item.
Row 2 item 1.
Item 1.
Yeah.
Two item 1.
Yeah, right. Okay. As it this column, you just use this one to distract us. If we replace this with item, then we'll get there.
B.
Okay, you have seen it. Which state is arbitrary? Okay. Did you say B? B for ball?
Yes, sir. B.
Okay. Now, which state of our framework is the dispatcher? I still have one. I know this should generate some.
That should be get transaction.
More views, please.
I think it's process
transaction.
Yeah, it's
B. Get
I think
transaction.
Okay. Matthew, you are welcome.
Initialization.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Full up.
I've got another view now. I had initialization from the background. We should expect.
Yes, initialization.
All right, Matthew, I'm happy to hear your voice. It's like cold water being offered to someone just coming from the desert.
Okay.
You are even taking tea. Should we go for a break so that all of us will join the break or something? I'm just kidding, as in, because I heard the sounds of cutleries doing some from Matthew's side. All right. Okay. So which state of R framework is going to do the dispatcher? Dispatcher that will going to pull data in that will be processed by the performer.
Initialization.
Okay. Okay. You said I think that should be Theophilus, I suppose. Okay. All right. And unfortunately, you can't discuss at length now. So get transaction data initialization. So because I suppose the viewpoint of the initialization group, it's going to read what we have in config file. Okay. And then in get transaction data state, that is going to pull what we have in the initialization state, pull it in. Though not working, not doing anything, it's just pulling it in. So it's dicey. So now, which one would that which state will fit into the role of a performer then?
Process transactions.
Process transactions. Okay. All right, Theophilus. Except we want to say that initialize. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which one will do the work of performer?
Get transaction.
Get transaction. At get transaction, there is no. Okay, all right. There is no processing taking place there. Another distraction could be to say that both the tools, the two first states, that's the initialization and get transaction data states. If we group them together, we can say, but it's not. We don't have anything like that here, and I understand why one could also go for. Why one would go for initialization and another go for get transaction data. Because you look at, but after all, this is being read. But what we need, the data the items we want to actually use, using the word of Matthew, to consume, that we want to, before we start to consume it as well. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think it's still in initialization, because initialization, there's this kill process. Once you kill process, You then fetch your data and then send it to queue, which I believe is the dispatcher stuff.
Okay. Okay. My view. I don't know if anybody has another view. I mean, to negate what Matthew said, and
because if kill process happen in initialization, definitely we will have a dispatcher, because when you kill the process, that's when you get your data and then you look through it or something and send it to queue.
Okay, what if we look at it from this view? Since no one is saying anything, those that talked on side of get transaction data, what you said, look at it this way. Now, initialization state is reading the settings, fine, and but the data itself, which is embedded in, let's say, the queues that we have in the config files, it's actually the data, the items. The items, you get to use them in get transaction data, and what this dispatcher would work with, it's those data items that we have in get transaction data. So that's why I would say, and I'll go with get transaction data is going to work as dispatcher. It does the same job.
Sir.
Yeah, Sylvester.
Sir, I think they are what Mr. Matthew and Mr. Timothy, what they are saying, I think is
correct.
I'm trying to deduce some sense in it, because from what we were taught, get transaction is when we want to maybe we use it. I don't know, maybe if I could remember, maybe when we want to is doing performer to get the transaction that we have.
Yeah, we are mixing it.
So the initialization, maybe it is during the initialization that they are going to do the dispatcher. That is when they are going to upload the query. Why the get transaction is when they are going to do the performer.
No, sorry,
it's
I'm not sure I heard you well. As in, it's like you mixed things up there. That it is in the get transaction we are going to do. Okay, we are going to.
What I'm saying is that we add query, and it is during adding of query that is when we dispatch.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Okay.
So now it is now during the session that they add query, meaning that is when they dispatch. It is during then the get transaction. It is during the get transaction that we dispatch and that we do performer.
Okay, now let's just flash back. Now, on the normal ground without config file. Now, where you use you use get. What's it called? What's the name of that activity now? Get queue item. You use it for which of the process? Where we had queue item.
Performer process.
Performer. And when we then what about set?
Process transaction.
when we set transaction status. You say?
No, I thought you were going to say process transaction.
And when you're going to process it, okay, maybe I should ask what activity or which activity do we use to process? If you want to go by the performer process. I don't know. It's a question I asked. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not clear.
It's not actually clear.
Okay. Let me start with add queue items activity. Okay, we use that to establish our performer process, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, which other activity do we use in the dispatcher process apart from add queue items? That's to add queue items to the orchestrator.
Actually, to add queue items, I think it's just one activity, which is add queue item.
Add queue.
Okay, so then what for performer process, which activity do we use to process, to pull it, to process what has been added?
I think we'll need the get queue item.
Get queue item. And which other one? We have the set transaction status.
Is get transaction.
Is it only get?
I think it's get during performer. We use get.
Yes, I know. I'm saying that is it only get? The one we use to set status, to establish status, whether it failed, passed, it's in progress, or it's failed or it's successful. Okay, so if you have established that of get, that it's for perform, and on that ground, we want to use it to establish these two. That okay. What we do in get transaction data, it's also the same as what we do. I'm still personally as a examinee. Okay. I'm still struggling with it. I'm struggling with it because initialization will read your queues. The queue itself feed your orchestrator with the queue names, and but the data itself, which is in the queue, because my own view is that what we do in get transaction data, it's similar to dispatcher, and the process transaction as what we do in performer.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I said the dispatcher, I think it's about loading the queue
Into the orchestrator,
with
yes.
data.
Loading, yeah, let's use that, fine. Reading, yeah, good. Yes, you are correct.
So that means that initialization still stands.
Yeah, still stands, okay. Okay. Okay, I like your persistence. Okay.
Actually, that initialization, they call it initialization. There's so many things going on there. When I was actually going through it, there's a lot of processes there. I mean, that's the major work. I mean,
that's the starting
the
off
major,
point.
Yes.
Okay, so now with those that went with the other party, Joe, what's your view? What's your view with respect to what Matthew just said now?
What did he say?
No. He's still maintaining the fact that because at initialization state, what happens there is that it started with the fact that what dispatcher does is that it loads data. It doesn't do anything. It simply loads it. That is it's similar to what happens at the initialization state. That's what Martin said.
It loads data where?
Good.
To the queue, of course.
Where does it load data?
To the queue.
Okay, so
Loads data.
Okay, so does it? Okay, so John, all right. Does it? So does it? Sorry, to Matthew. Does it load data to the queue?
Yes, sir, it does.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
okay.
Good. I think what's happening is the kind of data that the
Initialization
that is loaded in
state.
initialization. I think it has to do with, because I think the main thing that happens at initialization is it initializes the applications that will run the process. So, and it gets the data that it will need. So maybe data like, maybe if there's login, credentials for the application,
Not
that kind of.
and the names of the queue.
That?
I said the names of the queues. The names and value of the queues. I'm extending what you were saying something, so I was adding to it.
Okay. So I think that's it. Like that, like the demo that Testimony showed us. It was the application that she used. She said something about I think the process is to log into one application and their login details. So that's what it does at initialization. So it gets all the data that the application will need to run. Then if that's successful,
That's it's now start reading.
that's
It's now
when it
start
now enters.
loading
Yeah,
data to the queue.
that's when it now goes to get the queue items.
Yeah. So, Matthew, did you hear him? Yeah, it's Mr. Babalola. Is he on this show? Let me check. I can't. I'm not sure I've heard his voice. Babalola Lekan. Oh, he's not here. Let me check.
So dispatcher is just like it's sending the transaction to be processed for the performer to act on it.
Now, of course, it still borders on. It's not because now I'm the instructor or anything. Now, it still borders on what John said. Now, the what initialization does, yes, it reads config files, and of course, one can reconstruct that to say, oh, it's already reading the values needed. It's already loading the values needed into the queues. No, it's not loading it into the queues. It's not. It's simply. It's like that is like. What the description should I use for that now? That is like you starting a process, and it helps because it's a complex thing. So you are preparing grounds for the main thing to start to happen. For the items that you need, the values, the raw materials that you need to be read, to be processed, and of course to be provided with results, which is output. Okay, so and that is the reason why I am not subscribing to initialization as the state that is replicating what dispatcher does. All right, that's my.
Sir,
yeah.
I want to still
okay, that's
try
it.
to
That should be Sylvester.
Sylvester, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to still say something concerning the tax at hand. So according to Mr. John Awe now, he was saying that initialization, that is where they load the login, all those things. I want to correlate this particular scenario to maybe when we are developing maybe developing a software and they need to log in. When you need to log in, it is during the login that you are going to load your session. So everything that you want to put in your session will be during the login. It is when you now start the processing, maybe you want to do anything, you will just be picking it from the login. So I believe what we are still discussing, the initialization is still the one that will load the queue. Once it loads the queue, then during the get transaction, what it just needs to go to the queue to go and pick whatever is in the queue, then use it to process the transaction.
Okay, so what does the process transaction state? What does it do? Like, where do we put it? Should we put it under as a performer? Can we say that it does the work of a performer?
Well, from from this scenario, we can say that it does the work of a performer.
Okay, so now that means that your view now, it means that get transaction states and get transaction
And
data
process transaction.
process. So they in combination, they fit into the what performer
The
does.
performer. Yes, sir.
All
You
right,
said
so
get transaction fits into what performer does.
no, that the combination of that state. I'm echoing since it has its viewpoint is that get transaction data does the work of what takes place there is what also takes place in performer. And by the question I asked, is also said that process transaction state does the same work as we have it in performer. So I'm now saying that. So that means I'm just putting what's in this. I'm just trying to echo to give a shout to his own position. Yeah, that means that get transaction data and process that process transaction states into states. They belong to the performer process. Yeah, that's
Nah. Nah. Okay. Maybe I should.
you want to go with that.
Let me ask. No, let me ask that Mr. Sylvester, right?
Yes.
For me, I should just ask it. Okay, so
Just
where does at the initialization state, where does it get the? He said that's where the key items are gotten.
Yes.
Okay, where does it get it from?
Surely it will be from the system, from the it might maybe anywhere from the program, depending on how it is programmed. Since we have the initialization during the initialization, you said that you can log in, you can do all those things from there. From there, since you can get all those things from there, definitely you can see it can be a default, it can be anything from the initialization.
Sir,
Because
I would like to
He
say something.
gets it from the orchestrator.
it can't be from the orchestrator.
So
it will load it to the orchestrator.
it will load what?
You load the queue item to the orchestrator from the initialization stage. Then it is from that from the orchestrator that is now going to perform the get transaction and the process transaction. That is my submission.
Okay, I think this is similar to what we do normally on the studio. Let's say there's an Excel file now, and we want to, let's say, read it and work with it. So, firstly, we don't just like use it like the raw file. We need to get the files like from your folder to the studio. Now, that's when we'll now table now to process it. So the data table aspects now, that's why I guess the this thing does the initialization state. What it does is just that process. Transferring it, like getting that data now, the raw data, and using it for your transaction now. You need get transaction. You need
You are making sense.
So I think that's how it works. Then if you are going to process it now, you need a this thing, a performer. That's when you have process transaction.
You are correct.
Yes, you are making sense. What you know,
sense.
as from your own scenario now, you said it's going to load it. It will load it's going to load the Excel file. By loading the Excel file, it's like you are loading the orchestrator. So it is the data table that we create. That is where the get transaction will get the data from, and the process will now perform whatever we put in the data table.
Okay, let's bring in for each, maybe because I stopped there now. So now if we, let's say we fetch the Excel file now with a data table use for each to iterate now. So for each we go to the data table now and fetch this. So I'll call that the this thing get transaction state now, because it's going into like the main source to fetch it. I mean, it's not the main source now, like a secondary source, because the main source will be the Excel file. Then the secondary source will be like your data table now. So it goes to the data table to fetch it. That will be the get transaction state.
Hello. You are right. And I agree with you. The get transaction data is the dispatcher. That's where you put the get queue items. That's where you get the get queue item, and that's where the queue item is placed. I agree with you. So the dispatcher is get queue. That is the get transaction data.
Hello? 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 Oh.
Hello, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, yes. So it looks, so it's looking like we have our option in B, get transaction data, going by the jury of technocrats being led by John and Joe, the JJ.
There I disagree. It's initialization.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Okay. So all of this, all right.
Sir, I
Okay,
think
I'm with you.
let us get this straight. Get transaction activities. What does it use for? Is it used for performer or dispatcher? Mr. Babalola, I'm asking you, sir.
What did you say?
I said get transaction activity. We know that we know definitely that add queue item is for dispatcher. Now get transaction activities. What does it use for? Is it used for dispatcher or performer?
Get transaction activity is used for dispatch. Used for dispatcher. Do you know why? The initialization stage, what it does is to load the that is the
No, I'm not
file.
talking about this now. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about when you want to add your queue to the orchestrator. We use add queue item, Abby. Now,
yes,
when we want
and that get queue item is put on get transaction data. That is where it's that get queue item, that activity is under get transaction table. That's where you put it. You don't put your other initialization table. Initialization. You understand? And that is a orchestrator activity whereby it loads the data to the orchestrator. Is that not so? Is it not from get transaction table? Get transaction data, I mean.
Which activity do we use in which activity do we use in performer?
In where?
Performer.
A performance is there are other activities there.
No,
performance retrieve. Spatial is to send, while performance is to do activities. Is either it can retrieve the data from orchestrator or do other things.
What activities? I want to know the activities. That is what I'm asking.
Okay, in process transaction.
I'm not saying process. I said in performer. You know, in adding queue, in dispatcher, we use add queue item, which is the activity that we use to send it to the orchestrator. Abby. Now, to now to now perform transaction on it, what activity do we use?
I'm not getting your question very
Yeah,
right.
see, I
You said
think the issue is we're mixing up the basic knowledge we have with RA framework at the same time. RA framework, it's like involves the use of many of these other activities. So if we say, if we just limit it to like a few activities, like for instance, the this config, the initialization state is also, it also processes your this thing now, the business exceptions and all that. So it's not like our usual workflow now, because with state machine and the likes now, everything is more complex. That's just it. So we have lots of other processes that are involved in this, in each of those states.
If we compare that now, that's previous question with this. This is another one. Which state of the art framework is the performer? So that means once we get it there, and then we don't have issues with this. Okay, yeah, Mr. Esuabom, you presented the position, but except that maybe where you are now, it's not permitting you to talk. Okay, so yeah, so I have presented mine. So in that case, let's put our eye on this, on what transpires in this states and the service process of dispatcher performer. So for those that agree with that get transaction data does the work of dispatcher, so they will definitely come for process transaction as performer. And then for those that said initialization, that's where the dispatcher, that's what replicates what dispatcher does. Then it looks like they will want to settle for get transaction data now. And going by what Adedigba said, that it's that the two states, get transaction data and process transaction data, combines. The two they situate what happened in performer, so it will now be difficult to make a choice.
No, so I will go for get transaction here.
Oh, okay.
I will go for but that process transaction, performer does the work of processing. So, and where to get the get transaction activity is what they use to process it. So I will definitely go for get transaction data.
Yes. Now the get transaction, it's a file. It's beyond an activity. It's a XAML file on its own, a workflow, as it were, on its own. Okay, so if we transpose the term, okay, this one is get, that one is get, and then there may be some little itches. Okay, but let's keep our eyes on this. All parties, this and that party, keep our eyes on this aspect of RE framework, as it were. 46. How would you create a new library? Those are. How would you create a new library? Now it's going through the process. When you want to start a process, it's similar to that. Library is the one beneath process. And that go to the studio package view, look, click start and click library. Okay. All right. This the project panels display all of the following except the project panels. Is it? No, I think it should be the project panel displays all of the following except. Is Amarachi in this class? Vivian, I've not heard from you. What happened now? Okay, the project panel displays all of the following except.
I think these are
The new activity. Okay, I heard you. Okay, so you agree that it displays the tree view. A moment. Oh, and that dependencies, and that it also displays all related projects. Okay, and it's except for the new activity. Is that any other view, please? Are you suspecting any game here? And what is that game?
I will go for D also.
Okay, because this is not reading main.
That's the new activity.
Because it's not. Okay, all right. So we don't have issues with this with dependencies. This is causing something that we cannot really lay our hands on. What are they trying to? And now here again, all related projects. Does it display all related projects? All related
all related files.
All related files.
Files. So likely to be the related files.
Okay, so not projects.
Exactly, all related.
All right. Okay. So this of course you can change your main file to this, and it should also reflect this very file called XAML file.
Yeah, I will choose A.
The tree view with the project folder. Oh no, okay. You have your reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, the tree view.
I have my reasons. That tree view, it seems okay.
That's what you can collapse. You can expand collapses. That's what I suppose. That's what it's talking about. Where you have your dependencies, then you have all the settings, the main, the JSON, the project.json, all of that. You can and then you can collapse it. You can expand it. I think that's what that is handling.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all related projects. 48. Okay. We have which of the following is true about the shared library?
So I wanted to confirm some. The answer is all related projects.
Project, yes. If it had been file that was used, then it would have been a different kettle of fish. Okay. Which of the following is true about a shared library? I don't want to read it. You can please read it on my behalf. Just to conserve some.
Okay, a library is a package which contains multiple reusable components. A library is a package which contains a single reusable component. A library is a package that is saved as NuGet files and can be installed as dependencies to workflows using the package manager. A library is a package that is saved as NuGet files and can be installed as activity packages to workflows using the package manager.
Thank you, Joe. All right.
I'll go with Caesar.
C says it's a package that is saved as NuGet file and can be stored as dependencies to workflows.
So are there multiple answers here?
No, I think it's just one.
One.
Yes. Okay, you are seeing multiple. Sorry. Sorry. All right, so you are seeing multiple and multiple answers. There must be something that combines all the possible answers.
I will go with A and D. A and D. The first and the last option.
Okay. Yeah. A and D. A package which contains multiple reusable components. A library is a package that is saved as NuGet file and can be installed as activity packages to workflows using the package manager.
I think A will oversimplify the library.
A is more generic.
Yes.
So I think A.
I think too. I think A too. Because when you have it as a package, you can pull different aspects out to be used. I have 49 here. Okay, sorry, already a click. Let me show. All right, a click activity interacts with a UI element that must be 100% loaded. Okay.
The answer is Caesar.
Okay. All right, no controversy. I think we saw that too yesterday. Question 50. Let me see. This one says, how do you initialize a dictionary?
A, sir, the first option.
Okay, is that Theophilus? Is that Theophilus?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, you've got them. All right. Okay. Yes. So I think too. Yeah.
Yes.
You should. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There shouldn't be any issue with this since we already. Adidas has helped to demystify this. Giving us different scenarios. Let me see. Okay, we have these two options. All right.
The second option.
Okay. What reasons? How did you get to that point?
And from what we were taught, high priority with earliest deadline to be the first thing that we should consider. Then.
Well, we also have the same thing here now.
No, this is earlier deadline.
So what does that mean? Any difference?
Oh yes.
The first one.
Yes, yes. I did it. I was looking at the IS. I was looking at the priority. I didn't go for that.
Okay, let's look at it again. Just don't worry. Let's look at it. Yeah, Joe, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I said I'll go with the first one, sir.
The first one.
Yes. We have earliest deadline and high priority. Then earliest deadline, normal priority.
Okay, any objection? And it's good we just have two the two parties, the SDP and the NRC.
No. I it was you know when I was saying it now made mention of I didn't look at the earliest deadline before. We look at the deadline must be the one that we are going to put into consideration before the priority. So I think the A should be.
Really? Okay. Any other view? You had Mr. Sylvester.
It can be A.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I think since we take priority into consideration first.
No, it's deadline first though.
It's deadline first.
We consider
no
deadline.
Consider priority first.
Priority. The example he gave that was confusing that day was that, he said we set one of those items, I think low priority. So I think that was what was confusing to most of us.
Okay, so what are you like? Which party are you? Which side are you?
A, sir, the first one.
Okay. Only John is on his own in B. All right. I actually just maybe two more. If Matthew is still here, if who else? Labalola, Theophilus. Let me hear from your side. You may just look at the first two lines You may not need to look at everything. Look at the first two lines or the first line itself. Okay. Are you coming up with something?
I go with the second one, sir. Are there two, sir? Is it the only two?
Yeah, they are just two. Let me
Yes,
talk like
second.
James.
Okay.
Let me talk like John.
The second one, sir.
No, I
The
think.
second,
Wait.
it's like John wants to defect now.
It's priority before
I'm still
deadline.
looking at it.
Priority before deadline. It's usually priority before deadline.
Okay, when deadline is not in place, then we consider
The priority.
priority.
The earliest.
Okay.
Priority,
So
yes.
when deadline is put in place, so
Then
what
you will consider the deadline first before the priority.
Okay. Okay, all right.
The answer is B.
Now, once we mix it up, it's going to also affect our response in a way. Yeah. Going by this scenario, the first to come in, of course, it will garbage in, garbage out. The first to come up will be the first one to be considered. Now, when you introduce priority, what description do I give to priority? Maybe I should use when a bank manager another branch manager without fitting, another branch manager is in the bank and on the queue. Of course, let's assume that he wants to go through the protocol. Branch manager, then we also have maybe one of the staff of the bank of that very branch, still also on the queue, and then that one should represent, maybe that one will represent the normal priority is a staff, the branch manager for another branch. That should be for hire, and then the other, maybe the third person should just be any civilian like that. Okay, that's low. And the deadline, based on what they are carrying in their hands, what needs to be attended to. This person, the branch manager, what he's carrying in his hands is something that can be attended to even like tomorrow, thereabouts. It's not so seriously urgent. Then this other person, I hope I'm getting my scenario well. And this other person, okay, let me go to the civilian. Then the civilian, ordinary civilian, is having his own case, his own transaction, what he came to do in bank needs to be done. So it's so pressing. And then the other person. So let me just leave it there. Okay. Now, in not if we bring in the Nigerian context into it, it will change the whole thing. But if we put it, maybe we simply look at it from another perspective, maybe we'll get. Okay, so now the way it works in queue and with queue is, yes, when you have deadline, you first consider the one with high priority actually, and you now look at the one with earliest deadline. That's the way it should be. That's why even if you first go through the priority, the ones that have high, and then you now check through which one has the earliest than the other one, the earliest deadline than the other one. When you are done with the high priority, items, then you go to the next. That's the normal. Then you go to the next. So the deadline will help in fine-tuning between two high priority items. I don't know if I'm even saying anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
I'm right, sir.
So it's subject to. So I've presented a case. So we can
Because
further.
I was already getting confused.
Okay.
I know that.
All right. So
I know it's priority first.
Yes, priority first. Then it's sincerely speaking, it is tricky. It's trickish. Yes, it can be, but just going by that policy, that order, we'll be able to fix it. All right, and I think Mr. Julius did also he did something to simulate that the other time. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Sylvester, I don't know if you got what I said.
Yes, no, well, I got what you are trying to pass across.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to, me, from my own perspective, if it is the way it is being arranged in the terms of the priority, okay, there we come from before we talked about the deadline. But according to what we were taught, that I'm talking, what you explain is just the arrangement that differs. But according to what we were taught, you said that we look at the deadline, and the deadline, whether it is high or not, the deadline will determine whether we are going to treat it first or not. So, and in this, in the first one, where we have the earliest deadline first with high priority. So it's just the arrangement, and we look at the earliest deadline with normal priority. The second one is high priority next deadline. So which is just the arrangement. If we are going to go by what we were taught, the priority first with the deadline. But I don't know whether it can be interchangeable in the terms of the deadline we come from and the priority we follow. So that is why it is freakish. When I first of saw it, I chose B, the second one. But when you now made mention of deadline, now look at that deadline, we're supposed to consider deadline now. So there's the arrangement. I don't know whether the arrangement is something that we need to take note, or is we can just. But I got what you are trying to pass across, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. So I was a temper. May the Lord forgive me. Okay, this is something. What is displayed in the output panel? Okay. What's displayed in the output panel? Both variable 1 and 2 are of type generic value. So if you assign variable 1 to 555, as integer, but then in that manner, it's their generic value anyway. And then 2 as 555 in the form of a string. So log message in bracket open variable 2 plus variable 1 plus space and plus variable 1 and 2 in brackets. 1 plus 2 in brackets. So okay, so we have 4 options here. They have stated, don't forget this, so that
is that plus or
which one?
multiplication?
This is plus. No, everything is plus.
Okay.
Sir, it's the last one. You cannot add double to string.
Okay, that's
So I think because it's a generic value, we always take the first one to consider the first one to choose the
Yes.
type. So since the first
So
one is an integer, it will
Okay.
consider the whole stuff as an integer.
Okay, I did not see it.
So
I did
there
not
should
see
not be
that.
an error. But now I can't find the answer here.
no, the answer is C.
okay. Oh, all right. So let me. This is variable 2. This one.
It
This is a
is
string.
still.
This is string now, Abi.
Yes, sir.
So you are saying that because this is C, because this is a string, it will this one will definitely be taken as a string
How do
too.
we get that logic?
Okay, John is asking how that John I said Jodic, how that logic.
Sorry, it's a rule. I just come across this in maybe last 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So they said that according to the rule, if a generic value starts with string, then the next the if and there is a plus, it will just be the same. It's going to take
Take it
the
as string.
second one as string, to take everything as string.
As string.
Then if it starts with integer, then it's going to take the second one also as integer, and it's going to add them. So,
Okay.
but when I saw this one, I was just looking at it that the if the rule comes in here or not. That was the reason why I put this.
Okay, so this one is string. So
And
that
that
means
one is string. That would be 555, 555.
plus 555.
Yes. So this with
If
space.
your
Then this one will
daughter
be
your
addition.
daughter knows this rule so much, he's saying ta ta ta. It's even
Sorry,
telling
sir.
us what. No, not at all. No. I mean, for me, I'm not in any way affected. Then um, what's it called now? This is integer, and then it's going to take. This is also going to be taken as integer since it's following this. Okay, so that means 555 plus 555, it will be 1000 and as in this.
No. Yes,
Huh?
sir. To concatenate it.
Okay.
I said it
Yes,
to
sir.
concatenate it.
Yes, sir.
And then so this will now do the all join.
That is the space.
This is space, and that's the space here. Is that what you
Then
are saying?
the last one we added.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. That is the
Okay, all right. I think I will have to also go for that. Okay. Oh, we have repeated question. It's repeated question.
No, like I see they switch
They just
the
switch
log.
position.
They switch the log. They switch the logs.
Okay. What is the space in the
So in
output?
this case, it will be 1110.555.
Okay, this is then this was okay, the log, yeah. This was okay. Okay, so now we have int, and this one should be what? So this one should be 1110. Is that what we are saying?
Yes, sir. And the other one will be
And
555.
okay, is that what we are saying? So
Yes,
if
sir.
we have, so we are saying now, since this is So since this is as it were integer, this is rendered as okay. Let me
Okay. The rule is if this thing a generic value now, a variable that's a generic value type now is considered like this now. If it looks at the first variable now, that's in the bracket, which in this case is var1. So var1 now is of integer. This type is integer. So it will consider the whole thing as an integer. Then for the second one, var2 is a string. So it will consider the whole thing as a string.
Answer will be B.
Yes, sir. It's B, sir.
Okay. Is that the final answer?
Yes, sir.
Is there any need to review our answers? I'm just asking. And based
No, sir,
on
I don't think so.
okay.
That is the answer, sir.
Okay, so what happens? So when it's an integer that is coming ahead, because this is going to be taking the lead, and we said it's going to be this is going to, of course, this is going to be an integer as it were. Is there any other policy around having integers first and adding it to a string? Is there anything going to happen, or the same business?
No, the same rule applies. Yeah, Mr. Joe just
String.
explained the rule. The same thing.
Is Amarachi in this? Is she here? Ephraim Samuel, you are here too. Theophilus is still here. Why?
Yes, I'm still here.
Shion, what
Yes,
about Shion? All right now. Okay. Matthew also, let me hear from you. I can't believe Matthew is still here. I think he has is in another meeting. Matthew is not as gentle as that. Though. I want to bring him out from his hiding. I told you, he's not around. And Amarachi, you are simply following. Okay. Okay, so we are saying that this should be 5, 5. That is the reverse of that one. 1, 1. Sorry. This B.
Yes, sir. B is the answer, sir.
Okay. So. Well, I'm thinking that there should be an exception that will be thrown if integer is coming ahead of string. Not in this month.
No, sir, it's true.
everything is still. I'm not talking about this. This is okay. But when you have integer coming ahead of string this way, that's what I'm looking at. Okay.
So I think if the first one work, I think the second one should work.
Okay.
Step over.
Step. It says okay. Step over. All right. Oh, step over is even there already. He has decided to step over. This one should generate some issues.
Orchestrator settings. I think so.
Orchestrator settings take priority over config file settings.
No, it says false.
It's false.
I knew we are going to. The only thing I am so sure we will not do is to fight, but I know we will argue.
I think it's Asa.
You say what?
My gut is going for Asa.
You are going for true, Shay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
But what I'm saying here, they picked false.
No, no, forget about that. It's not the okay. I'll fix true now. Okay, what do you want to do about it? Okay, this is false. This is true.
Sir, it's false. Then the reason is because the from the explanation, we said when they load the orchestrator, is going to first of all initialize the config. So everything that we have in the before the orchestrator even look at the priority, we would have initialized the config file, do all those things. So meaning it's not going to even talk. We will not even talk about the priority before we initialize the config. So the reason why I'm going for false.
For false. Okay, that orchestrator state settings does not. That's what it will now mean. The orchestrator settings does not take priority over config file settings.
Yes, sir.
That's the other statement to false.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all right. What do we say about this? So you are saying that without let me reconstruct now. How do I reconstruct this now? Okay, can we? Okay, can we do? And about config. Not this is config file settings, not config file. Okay, don't let me bother. Don't let me push that. But this is config file, and we're talking about the settings. I need more inputs. It looks somehow. Or maybe I should raise questions to lead into some thoughts. Okay, the things we will put in config files, can we lodge them into orchestrator into orchestrator?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can lodge them. So how do we construct that now? If I want to put that in a statement.
It means that the orchestrator uses the config file settings to run.
Is that what load? No. What I said, what the question I asked, to which you said yes is.
Does it code? Yes. Does it uses? Okay, it does.
For like, can I, instead of putting my settings in the config file, instead of loading my like settings sheet, for instance, instead of any of the sheets, instead of loading the sheet with values, can I do something? Can I actually do it in Orchestrator? And he said yes. And it looks like, if it is yes, truly, yeah, and it looks like Orchestrator takes priority over config files. If I can do, in quotes, if I can do away, it means I can do away. I am not, config file is not the main driver. I don't know if you get.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, sir.
Okay, Matthew has decided to talk now. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I think that A should be correct because config file is like, someone may decide not to fill the value there. So definitely the settings in orchestrator should take priority. So that's just looking at even just good practice, because config file is, they are like variables whereby you can put your stuff there. But what if you decide not to put anything? So it's just for additional stuff there. So I think orchestrator settings should take priority. And I know that because I know it's in studio, variables usually take priority over config file. So I believe it should be the same with orchestrator. I've seen that in studio.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, John Amarachi. Okay, but this is the lines are very short. I can count the number of words here. How many are they? You should not give us just 38, just 10 words, 38 alphabets. All right, so we've got two parties over two options that are available here. All right, the last speaker said that orchestrator settings for real, truly, it takes priority over config file settings. So do we agree with that? Are we seeing? Have we come to the same point on this? Or it's still somehow daisy? Daisy.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yes, the simple way we should look at it is, if you see config file settings, the names they use there, they are using their name as a placeholder. So you can change it. So it will first of all check the orchestrator. If there's no settings, if there's no value, then before it will even go to config to check. So which is the same thing I'm saying. It takes priority.
Okay, so I will also go for true. actually. But I want to hear from others. It's only one person that has talked in favor of false, and I've not. If not that you are responding, I would have thought I have been disconnected. Everywhere is just quiet. Amarachi decided
I
not to talk
chose
today.
the first one.
Okay, you saw what he's trying to explain.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, this 56. When an application level exception is thrown, what type of exception is caught in the RE framework by default?
System exception.
System exception.
Okay. I think I'll also go for that. Yeah, we just have to system the business exception. Okay. System exception. All right, so yeah, we have this in the Git repository. You like to compare two files in the same project that have similar workflows. How do you do this?
I think it's A, sir. A or B. I'll
A
go
or
for
B?
A.
You said A or B?
Yes, sir. But I'll go for A, sir.
That is A.
Emphatically A. Okay. So it's A. Sorry. So we can see logs generated by running bots in 3 locations. Which of the following is not one of the 3 locations?
Outline panel, sir.
Okay, the outline panel. All right. Yeah, 59. It's just for first, so it should be short. Right. If you try to end the execution of a job by clicking the Stop Cancel button in UiPath Orchestrator, the execution is not impacted. If no should stop activity has been included in the workflow.
I think it's false, sir.
Okay, I heard you. I acknowledge you.
It's false.
Okay. You two said it's false. Yeah, any other objection, please? Any other objection? Oh, okay. So, what does this mean? That the execution is not impacted? If not, so which one takes precedence? Is it what the command in orchestrator or the one in the studio? I think it's talking in that direction. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. That's what it's saying.
That's what. That's what it
That's
is.
what it's saying.
Okay. So if we get it that way, then we can now begin to debate which one. So if you try to end the execution of a job by clicking the stop cancel button in UiPath Orchestrator, the execution is not impacted if no should stop activity has been included in the workflow, meaning so if we say if we pick true, we are saying that it is just the way it is, that the execution, what we did in the studio in orchestrator is not it's not going to have effect on the workflow, on the bot. If we pick false, we are saying that no, that it's going to have impact. It is just all the highlighted things, not no should stop. They are enough to cause brain damage. Hey. I will move to the next one. We are done already.
Is the answer true? or false?
You say what? I asked you if
answer.
it is true or false.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we pick true, it sounds like what we cannot cancel or we cannot stop the execution of the bot from the orchestrator, which I don't think is true.
Hello, sir. The no
No,
should
sir.
stop
By
activity.
true should be that if the should stop is not included, it will still stop the activity, the execution to end it.
Sorry, let
Even
me get
without
it.
stop.
If should stop is not included,
Yes, sir.
the execution in orchestrator will stop it.
Yes, sir. That's what true is saying. Then false is negating that.
Okay, Babalola, please go ahead.
Yes, that's the same thing I wanted to say. Yeah, I said it.
Okay, so we are still going for false.
No, the first one, sir. I'm going for the first one.
Okay, we are going for
true.
Okay, for true. Okay, for true. Okay. Okay, yeah. So all right. So without much ado, yeah, we'll go for true. The execution is not impacted if no should stop activity has been included. Yeah, true. Okay, which one is this? Which of the following is not one of the activity groups or independent activities in the UiPath persistent activities pack? Ooh, serious.
I think it's C, sir.
Okay. I heard you. So I'm going to take this down so that you can read it through. Oh. It is not one of the. So we have.
I think it's workflow, sir. I think this persistent activities is because from the options I'm seeing here, jobs is orchestrator, queue is orchestrator, tax is orchestrator. So I think it's workflow.
Okay, that's logical. That's logical, actually. Okay, we have this to buttress what you said. The job skill tax delays under persistence activities. Okay, so then it makes workflow a perfect fit. All right, so thank you so much. Don't forget our deals to check up the dispatcher of our former in lieu of, or let me say, in view of the states we have in our framework. I believe that will help us throw more deeper light into some of these things. All right, so tomorrow we'll meet same time. All right, so we'll call it a day at this point. Thank you for your participation, interaction.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. And Ma.
Good night, sir. Thank you so much. Night. Have a
Thank
lovely
you.
night.
And you too.